Hey, Knicks Nation, how are you doing this weekend? I hope that you're going good this weekend, that the weekend is restful and enjoyable for you, and that you and your family are safe and healthy this weekend and enjoying the time off as fast as it goes. Welcome and greetings, old school player. Welcome and greetings, Enrique Triana. Welcome and greetings to all of Knicks Nation. Today, I wanted to go into um, some things regarding the Knicks, what we are experiencing now. And as you good morning, Stoop Kids, good morning, Senior Brief, good morning, Darius Cooper, my brother Guilford McCormick, good morning, good day to all of you. And Jay Sniper, what's up? What's up? What's up, my brother? How y'all doing? Yeah, because as you saw from the title of the video, All Stars and Rising Stars on the New York Knicks. And this is the thing, brethren. This is the thing. First of all, hey, Esto 200, peace and respect, shalom. For the last, oh yes, Glenn Costa, hey, my brother, how you doing, man? Camarlo, Michael Drake, how are you? Good morning to you. Jerry Turville, good morning. James E. Moore, Valex Prime Sports, good to see you again. Sup, y'all? Yeah, I hope all you guys having a good weekend, and I hope it's going well for all of you. Mr. Woodard, Robert Woodard, Jabroni Z, how y'all doing? What's up? Alexander Rivera, superstar, my brother. And Michael Drake, hello. De La Music 50, hello. Strange, Dakota Stokta Strange, hello, all of y'all. Welcome again. Glad to see you, my man Deshaun Wilson. And yeah, now, as many of you, y'all know, Raw Hebrew goes back in Knicks Nation a long way, 50 years, a little more than 50 years, probably. 69, I like to say generally, because I remember I was conscious of the Knicks and conscious of basketball when I was 8 years old. And that was in 1969, about the time the Mets and the Jets and the Knicks were champions. And so all of that was happening at that time. And it was a big, important time in New York. It was an important time on Long Island, where I was growing up at the time. The New York Mets played on Long Island. The Jets, at that time, Hofstra University was where they practiced at. And everybody was into Broadway Joe and the AFL. And then there was the ABA with Dr. J coming. They hadn't really come up yet. Couple of years later, everybody started, but you had the ABA at that time. And so there was a lot going on, and the Knicks came into my consciousness at that time. And so seen a lot, over the past, since then, 50 plus years, seen a lot. But what I have seen and what brings me to today is, over the course of time, my own getting older, and then of course knowing history of my team, the Knicks, and they've always been my team from that time to now. Seeing a lot, and so understanding when people make comments, for example, about Tom Thibodeau or the New York management. I understand you don't even know basketball, or you don't really know the Knicks history, because if you are comparing what we have now in terms of front office and coaching staff and their togetherness, you should understand this is one of the best situations we have had in 50 years. Okay. If you don't understand it, I can't help you. But from where I sit, for example, I'm just using that as an example. I'm seeing what we have, and especially this is true after Van Gundy quit in December. I forgot where it was. It was early 2000s in December. He just abruptly left the Knicks. And that was the beginning of a collapse, a real collapse of the organization at that point. And I'm sure Jeff Van Gundy had his reasons. I don't consider him a quitter per se, but he had his reasons, okay? And that, after that, you trade Ewing, you go ahead and you change management, you bring in this cat from Utah, and it just went downhill. And they have been struggling ever since then. And prior to that, the Knicks had a history of trying to bring in big names to win fast. Okay. And generally they would pick players that was past their prime to come in as a big name for ticket sales, but not necessarily to make the team better. Okay. Then you get like a UB Brown, and you combine a UB Brown with a Bernard King, and you try to roll with that best you can. Then you bring in a big name and a Pat Riley, and Pat Riley changes the image to tough, rebounding defense, New York Knicks basketball in the 90s. And so then after that, they started with the McToney McDices. They bring in, the Isaiah Thomases, and they trying to give away first round picks to make something happen fast, because in New York is not the type of city that wants a rebuild. Never was. And I have to admit, back in the day, I was like that too. Didn't want no rebuild. I went back to the championship next year. Bring in the big name. I was like that. But over the course of time, as myself got older, and as I started looking at history and seeing the Knicks, that changed. And I started understanding from a historical standpoint what it took to be a sustainable long-term winner, and watching other teams, and watching, all of the managements that the Knicks have went through, and, all of that. And that caused me to appreciate certain things. Like, for example, when Stevie Mills made a press conference, Stevie Mills from Roosevelt, Long Island. I kind of grew up with his family. I knew his family. My cousin was really close to them, so I was throughout my cousin. I connected with them, but I knew his brothers. He had one brother that was MVP a couple of summer leagues, and then he had another brother that played at St. Agnes and was a star and ended up playing for Hofstra. And Stevie, I never met Stevie Mills, but I heard of him, and he was a hero because he was the brother that went to Princeton, came out of Long Island as a brother back in the 70s and went to Princeton, played for Carrillo. So I was like, I was really hyped about him. So when he became president of the Knicks, I was really hyped about that. Not that he was the best president, but one thing he did that I appreciated, and then everybody in Knicks Nation that have been around for at least 20 years appreciated, he made a promise to never trade a first-round pick. And why did he have to do that? Because Isaiah was dealing them out like candy. When Isaiah Thomas was president of basketball operations, honestly, Isaiah went into a power tripping. And his ego and his power tripping cost the organization. And he was dealing first round picks for mediocre players. Okay. So Steve came, and part of the turnaround was he promised we will never trade a first round pick. And that day, everybody was clapping, including myself, because that was the beginning of the organizational turnaround, or one of the spots where it began. Now, he proceeded to fill the roster with power forwards and, an unbalanced roster. And so that cost the Knicks at that time. But then he stayed in the organization. And you could trust Steve. It's just that he wasn't. That's not true. See, that's what I'm saying. That's not true. It's not like you couldn't trust Steve. Steve is trustworthy. Stop tripping. But he just wasn't the best president of basketball operations. Let's put it that way. He's still in the organization right now because he is trustworthy and he is loyal to MSG and to the Knicks. Okay. And hats off to Mr. Dolan, because he keeps Stevie in an executive position. One of the highest ranking Black officials in pro basketball is Stevie Mills to this day. So let's stop tripping. And that's what I'm saying in Knicks Nation. You go overboard. All of a sudden somebody doesn't do well and he's the terrible human being. Y'all need to stop with that. So he stepped aside, and eventually, as we know, we end up with Leon Rose running things. And that model was based on the model of both the Golden State Warriors and the Los Angeles Lakers, of having former agents with big connections in the league take over your front office. I was a little nervous about that because I was hoping for a Kevin Pritchard. I was hoping for that time like a Sam Presti. I was hoping for that guy from San Antonio. I was hoping for somebody like that, but he hires Leon Rose. I was holding my breath on that one. Then I started feeling better about Leon Rose when he brought on, and I was hoping Leon would actually fire. I hope he would fire the general manager and get again Kevin Pritchard, Sam Presti, Masai Ujiri. I was hoping somebody like that, but no. He keeps the general manager on Scott Perry. Then he brings in, the first move that caused me to raise up was he brings in Mike Woodson. He brings in Mike Woodson, and I was like, oh, shoot, okay. Mike Woodson was on the bench. He brings in Tom Thibodeau. He brings in Walt Perrin as the scouting head. Now I was hyped because I knew that those guys were all very high quality at their positions, and I was hyped for the Knicks going forward. And that's the thing. When you've been a Knicks fan a long time, you don't just think in terms of the present year. I used to, but I don't anymore. I think in terms of trajectory, long-term trajectory of the team. It starts with management, okay? And so when Leon came on board and started bringing in Perrin and bringing in the coach that's now at Louisville, forgot his name, and then bringing in Woody and bringing all those guys involved there, I was like, and then bringing in Johnny Bryant from Utah, I was really excited, and I still am, for the Knicks management. And a lot of people, that's why I started calling him the Don, because from the beginning, I started watching the moves he was making and understanding the long-term, Kenny Payne, right, thank you, Deshaun, understanding the long-term implications of what he was doing. Whereas a lot of people that were used to the checkers wasn't understanding the long-term implications of the moves that Don was making back in the beginning when he first started, okay? So that is where we started progressing in my view. And that's why I look at this as year 3 of the rebuild, because this is year 3 of Leon Rose, year 3 of Tom Thibodeau, year 3 of Walt Perrin, year 3 of Scott Perry in terms of being with this crew. This is year 3 of these guys. So therefore, we are in the rebuild process. We have now finished 2 seasons. This is the 3rd season of the rebuild. And Tom Thibodeau, in year 1 of the rebuild, brought the Knicks to the playoffs, as we know. And now he's about to do it again for the 2nd time in 3 seasons in a rebuilding team. Okay. The Don showed his mettle not only in collecting picks, but in who he picked. Now, he inherited Mitch Robb. He inherited RJ. Okay. He inherited those guys. He inherited Juju. Okay. But what did he do? He got Quentin Grimes. He got Deuce. He got Obi. He got IQ. He got Jalen Brunson. This is what the Don has done. He got Quentin Grimes into the 1st round, trading picks to get more picks. He got IQ into the 1st round. He gets Deuce in the 2nd round. He gets Obi at his number 8th pick. He gets Jalen Brunson. For now, we can look back and understand it's a bargain. The $100 million that he paid for Jalen Brunson is a bargain. Okay. Many Knicks fans was giving me all kinds of hell about calling him the Don and looking at short-term, very short-term results and trying to bring it up as arguments against him. It was stupid. We have a great front office right now. Not good. We have a great one. In New York, you guys need to understand, and most of you do that really have any kind of good sense. Yep, Josh Hart too. That's right. He got Josh Hart. That's right. I ain't forget Josh Hart. We're going to talk about him. But anybody that got any kind of good sense, understand what we got here in terms of a long-term sustainable front office that's creating a long-term sustainable winner. Okay? You understand what we got here. And if you appreciate the beauty of the moves that they have made, you know you got something here, okay? You got something here. Now, at the time, they got Obi Toppin, okay? At the time, they got Obi Toppin, the 8th overall pick. I don't know why people that are Knicks fans don't remember this. But let's go back in time. We're going to get to Josh Hart. Y'all chill on Josh Hart. We got him. But let's go back in time for a second. Julius Randle's first year here was a 2010 season that resulted in a losing record. I don't think the Knicks won more than 25 games Julius Randle's first year here. He was dribbling into double teams. He had a bad attitude. He would get his 20 and 10, but the Knicks were losing. We had just lost Kristaps Porzingis, who was supposed to be the cornerstone for the next decade. He was out of town. We had draft picks. Stevie went and got us some draft picks, and we got some cap money. But We wasn't looking good. So at the end of that season, Julius's first season in New York, and he had a 3-year contract with New York at that time. At the end of the first season, they leaked out, and this is again, there's 3 wise men in my view. There's Shams, there's Wojnarowski, and there's Ian Begley. And then when it comes to the Knicks, it's Ian Begley. So that is the Knicks, will leak out stuff to Begley. Begley doesn't say anything unless it's happening, usually, okay? Recently, I say this year, he's become more popular and he's stretched himself a little bit, I think. But generally, Begley don't say nothing unless it's real. Begley started reporting at the end of Julius Randle's first season that the Knicks were looking for a power forward. They said that. And then they were even, based on that, there were articles that spring, that April, that May, that June, there were articles on what power forwards could the Knicks obtain, which was in a way saying we don't want Julius Randle. He had just played 1 year here, which is in a way of saying we don't want Julius Randle. Can you imagine? You're a star power forward, and then you get articles from a New York connected guy like Ian Begley, the Knicks are looking for a power forward. Okay. And it was at that time I started looking at somebody like Jeremy Grant. I was talking about Jeremy Grant then, who at that time, I think he had just went to Oklahoma City and he was looking for a new home. And I was like, let's look at Jeremy Grant. And I had looked at a couple of players, but Jeremy Grant was like one of the top guys on my list at that time. So I was hoping they would sign him. But instead, what ended up happening, and again, being it was Rose's first year, he went and gets Obi Toppin, because Obi Toppin was supposed to take the place of Julius Randle. That summer, Tom Thibodeau was hired, and Tom Thibodeau connected first with Julius Randle. Julius Randle worked harder than at any other time in his career to get ready for that next season, understanding what was at stake. An extension was at stake. His reputation was at stake. And I did not have the confidence that he was going to be able to advance. I didn't. I wanted Obi Toppin to start. And that was a little, I think a lot of us felt like that season, like, man, we want Obi, right? Because we had already suffered through a year of Julius Randle, and we wanted to see Obi, the new power forward, right, get his thing. And Tom Thibodeau stuck with Julius Randle. Julius Randle became All-NBA. He became an all-star. The Knicks ended up becoming the 4th seed. And then everybody was wondering what's going to become of Obi Toppin. I did a video after that first season. This was 2 years ago, saying we were going to have a problem with Obi Toppin. Not because Obi's a bad attitude, but because he's too good to stand behind Julius Randle. And it seems like Tom Thibodeau wanted Julius Randle. Then came last year where the Knicks regressed. Well, they really didn't regress as much as they really overperformed. There's a difference. The Knicks overperformed Thibodeau's first year. They overperformed. Nobody was expecting them to even make the playoffs, much less be the 4th seed in the East. Nobody was expecting that. And it looked like they were going to be a 500 team before they made the deal for one Derrick Rose at the trade deadline. And that changed the whole season. They started playing better defensively, and then Rose came in and they went on a 12-game winning streak. 10 or 12, I think I recall. And they vaulted into the 5th seed, and then it was them in Atlanta. And then they beat Atlanta. Julius dropped 40 on Atlanta, and they ended up becoming the 4th seed. Okay? They overperformed. The next year, when they went 37 games, the second year to rebuild, that was more in line with a rebuilding team. But because the media started hyping them, now the previous year, they weren't even expecting them to make the playoffs, and then all of a sudden they're the 4th seed. Now the media say, oh, now they got to get better. Everybody's like, we got to get better than that. And you had your boy, Berman. Every other word out of his mouth was this one. Tell me if I'm lying. Every other word out of his mouth was this: blockbuster. When are they going to do the blockbuster? We're waiting for a blockbuster. Are they going to make a blockbuster? Are they going to use Julius Randle in a blockbuster? Every other word out that boy's mouth was blockbuster. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? Blockbuster, blockbuster, blockbuster. Second year to rebuild. Second year to rebuild. Blockbuster? Let me ask you a question. When a team is rebuilding, you expect a blockbuster trade in the second year of their rebuild? If it's a rebuild, if it's a true rebuild, you expect a blockbuster trade in the second year of a rebuild? That's stupid. No, you don't rebuild like that. You don't. That's LeBron James type of stuff. You know, you go to some team and you clear out the whole roster, you get another superstar and you try to win with a bunch of minimum contracts. That's LeBron James type of stuff. That's not true rebuild. That's not San Antonio Spurs. That's not Boston Celtics. That's not Miami Heat. That's not none of them type of stuff. That's that crazy type of stuff. So no, you don't go no blockbuster second year to rebuild. But it kind of messed up the fan base because everybody was like, well, wait a minute, we supposed to be winning now? Oh, then we must suck now. Second year to rebuild. The 37-win season was in line with a rebuild. Okay? It's in line with a rebuild. Okay, so now you're in third year to rebuild. This is why I was excited too, because in the second year to rebuild, you had Quentin Grimes in his first season, Deuce McBride in his first season, Obi Toppin in his second season, Emmanuel Quickley in his second season, RJ Barrett in his third season, Mitch Robb in his fourth season. You had all of this in the second year to rebuild. Tom Thibodeau, one thing we need to understand about Tom Thibodeau is he needs to really feel like he can trust a player before he plays them. If he can't trust you for whatever his reasons might be, like he did not trust Cam, he's not going to play you. And if you offend him or disrespect him, he is not going to play you. I don't know what Cam did, but he apparently offended or disrespected Tom Thibodeau. There's been players that were on the Bulls that said that about Tom Thibodeau, that said, you know what? I don't know what I did. I think I might have said something because he won't talk to me anymore. He gets like that. Then there's other players he deeply respects, and he'll have your back regardless. Everybody could be calling for your head, and he's going to stick by you, like Julius Randle. Okay? So he needs to trust the players. One of the ways he gets to trust players is you go through his hell camp. In other words, you go through his treatment of rookies. You don't get no minutes. He expects you to work hard. He expects you to be ready. It's hard. It's not easy. He might ignore you for 10 games and call you out in a critical time and expect you to perform. That's how he does it. It's not fair. It is what it is, though. Okay? So now, unbeholden to most Knicks fans and media, over the time of last year, he started to trust all of these young guys so that this third year, he put trust in them. And then when it really hit the fan, he would normally wait 30 games, maybe 35 games before he start really settling on his rotation. This year, he went to that 9-man rotation, I think 20-something games in. As soon as the Dallas embarrassment happened that Saturday, that there was an embarrassment in Dallas against Dallas. Remember that? Luka and them was supposed to lose that game, and they came back and won in the last seconds. Embarrassment. Sunday was a back-to-back. Sunday against Cleveland, 9-man rotation, 8 straight wins. 8 straight wins. Okay? The defense is what led it. Okay? They was rolling. They was rolling. Okay? They was rolling. RJ got hurt. It's a little stumble, but they kept going. Okay? But when Mitch Robb went down, major problem. Major problem. Because Mitch Robb is the key. And I've been telling y'all that Mitch Robb is the key. Some of y'all want to talk about injury prone, what the hell you want to say negative about Mitchell Robinson. Let me tell you something. Mitchell Robinson's a championship basketball player. He's a championship piece. Some of y'all don't need to recognize. He's a championship piece. Cherokee, and thanks for the $5. Yo, the New York hate was on deck at the All-Star. I heard about that. Listen now. When I was younger, I have to admit, it's me. It's not, I'm not blaming nobody, but I don't get into All-Star games anymore. I just don't. It's a freak show to me, and it's because I'm an old dude. I'm an old dude, and I'm cynical. To me, NBA is a star-driven league, and I get it. The younger players want to see the stars play. I get it. It's all good. That don't do nothing for me. To be quite honest with you, I'm worried if somebody get hurt. I don't want nobody to get hurt, especially my Knicks. I don't want Joju or Grimes. I don't want y'all getting hurt. That's my thing. I don't care about who wins or whatever. whatever. I just don't want about my boys getting hurt for my Knicks. I don't want Jericho getting hurt. If he can participate and not get hurt, if Grimes can participate and not get hurt, if Juju can participate and not get hurt, okay, good. Come back to New York. Let's get ready to play the second half. That's what I think. So I'm not going to even watch the All-Star game today. I'm going to probably be watching Better Call Saul with my wife tonight. That's probably what we're going to do. Okay, be honest with you. But I'm proud that our guys are there, but I'm not really into it. But it's being named to me that's more important. Being named is more important than actually the game itself these days. I used to get into it, back in the days when Doc was in the All-Star game, back in the days when David Thompson was in the All-Star game. I would get into it. And Jordan and Isaiah and all them was getting into it, Larry Bird. I used to like to watch it then, but as the years go by, I don't get into it anymore. I'm too old, too cynical. To me, I want my team to win. That's the bottom line for me. I don't care what they look like in a uniform. I don't care what else happens to them. I just want the Knicks to win. That's all. Okay. And so I'm willing to be patient to wait to let them do it the right way to win. Okay. That's all I care about. So the All-Star game don't mean nothing to me. But I watched a couple episodes of Breaking Bad. Just a couple. I saw maybe 5 episodes. 6 episodes of Breaking Bad. It's not bad, no pun intended. It's not a bad situation, but I like Better Call Saul because Better Call Saul, Jimmy reminds me of a little bit of what I used to be. My wife we're always laughing. Jimmy reminds me a little bit of myself. Yeah, that's why I like Better Call Saul. When I used to do mortgages and sell annuities and stocks, it reminds me a little bit of myself. Yeah. What I used to be. Praise the Most High for that. What I used to be. But yes, that's why I get into. I can understand Breaking Bad. He's a school teacher and he has to do this and that and whatever. And that's sort of like the other thing, the weed. That's another story that's similar to that. But Better Call Saul is more like I can relate to that. You see, so his dilemma, his moral dilemmas, and I can relate to that. Hey, Jean-Marc, I can relate to that. So I like Better Call Saul, and so we've been really getting into it. I think we're in the 3rd season now, so we're gonna go to dinner at 2:00 and then come back and watch it. But yeah, that's what I'll be doing tonight when the All-Star game is on. So now, one thing I have learned that I want to share with you all, Knicks Nation. I understand you want the media to acknowledge the Knicks, right? I don't care. And I suggest you don't care. Don't care about what the media does with regard to the Knicks, okay? You understand, I think, Knicks Nation, that there's money to be made in commercials with negativity toward New York, right? Right? Now, once the Knicks actually are in the playoffs and win past the second round, everybody's going to acknowledge because that's when they make money on positivity with the Knicks. Now, y'all know the story. This is really starting with James Dolan, okay? That's really the hate for New York. It started 50 years ago when they won a championship because we was arrogant. I ain't going to front. The Mets had won the World Series. The Jets had won the Super Bowl. The Knicks won 2 championships. We was arrogant. We was. You couldn't tell us nothing in New York. I honestly didn't even know what other cities existed because it was all about New York back then. And then, of course, if you really was from New York, you saw the Nets win the ABA championship with Doc J in them. Dr. J was from Roosevelt. So you see the Knicks, and then if y'all from Long Island, you know a guy named Don Ryan. I'm bringing up old name. Y'all remember Don Ryan? I used to hang out with Don Ryan with my cousin. We was all little then. Don Ryan was cool people, and he helped Dr. J. Okay, he helped Dr. J get into University of Massachusetts. So when Doc went first to the Virginia Squires, then he came to the Nets. It was a big deal. All of that was happening in New York at that time. Okay, major stuff. The Yankees stunk at that time. It wasn't until Steinbrenner bought the Yankees and they got Reggie Jackson and they had Ron Guidry in them that they started winning again. But the Yankees sucked at that time. At that time, it was the Mets, Tommy Agee, John Clendenin, Tom Seaver, Buddy Harrelson. I could tell you all them dudes. Cleon Jones. I could tell you all them dudes, man. Gary Gentry. Jerry Kuzman. That was the Mets, okay? They was winning at that time. And then the Jets with Joe Namath, Emerson Boozer. All them cats was winning at that time. And then, of course, we know the Knicks was winning. Yeah, I tell you, man, that's what I was into. So we was arrogant. And that turned off the rest of the country. It did. That turned off the rest of the country. Okay, we was arrogant. I ain't gonna front. We was. You couldn't tell us nothing. We was winning chips, man. And all kind of the only chips. And even in hockey, the Islanders won like 3-4 in a row in the 70s. And that was like ancillary. I mean, all of the white kids in my school was talking about the Islanders. All of the black kids was talking about the Knicks and the Mets. I mean, really, that's the way it was back at that time. Yeah, Islanders was what? Denny Potvin? What? I know those names by just they was floating in the air every day when I was in school. Kids used to be in the parking lot thinking they was Denny Potvin, man. Playing hockey, it was something. So New York was arrogant. Okay. And that kind of started a negative turn against New York in the media. Then came the late 90s. In the 90s with the smash mouth basketball that the Knicks used to play with Pat Riley. And that's what they played, smash mouth basketball. It was great, man. That's when I really started appreciating NBA level defense with Pat Riley and Xavier McDaniel and Oakman and man, please. They was rough, man. The Knicks was rough. And of course, Patrick Ewing, John Starks. The Knicks was rough. You know you was gonna cuff hell to pay coming to Madison Square Garden to play the Knicks. Physical. It was going to get physical up in there. I like that, right? Please. So then James Dolan, I don't know when exactly he started, but there was a point where he told the Daily News they couldn't come into the locker room. And that's when you started getting hate from the media on the real. There was a point where Isola, whatever his name, Isola, some dude from and then there was that dude that does the Newsday. They started all pushing hate from on Dolan and then on the Knicks because the Daily News, he cut them off from coming in the locker room. They was getting all upset. And so that's when it started. And then, of course, at that time, with the downfall starting again with Van Gundy quitting in the middle of the season, there was a bad time of 20 years. You know, you had some highlights, you know, with Starbury. You had some highlights, you know. Isaiah tried to make the big move again, bringing a big name. He bring in Starbury, and it helped a little bit, but we really never, you know. And then all of a sudden, here comes your Mark Berman, and they were just piling on the Knicks at that time, piling on, man. So now, at this time, and then, you know, Dolan had the nerve to create the first all-black front office and coaching staff. He had the nerve to do that. I'm being real with you. That put more hate from all them Italian boys from Long Island, and then of course you add to that the Bermans of the world, the Isolas and all them from Long Island. They couldn't stand him. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. I'm there, man. So that added to the hate. So now that hate remains. There was a big push to try to get Dolan to sell the team, and I knew what it was about. And unfortunately, a lot of Knicks Nation bought into it. And that's what I'm saying. Don't really, your first reaction to a media report about the Knicks should be they're lying. You understand? Don't believe media reports about the Knicks. The first reaction should be they're lying, because they are. Okay? It's all a hype game against the Knicks because of Dolan, period. Okay? Dolan is still paying Latrell Sprewell. Why is he paying Latrell Sprewell? Because he wants to help Latrell. Latrell spent all his money on gambling and whores. That's why he was broke. Dolan put him on the payroll. Dolan still got him on the payroll. Still got John Starks, who was bagging groceries before he played for the Knicks. He was bagging groceries. Still got him on the payroll. Okay, still got him on the payroll. Still got Allen Houston on the payroll. Still got Larry Johnson on the payroll. Another dude with like 14 kids that blew all his money and he brought him back. He still got Larry Johnson on the payroll. Okay, that's what I'm saying to you. That's right. He made Zeke. That's what I'm saying. He came correct on the DL, but most people are following media reports. Dolan. Listen, y'all who are watching the Knicks should really know what we talking about, because that's the real. That's the real. Brock Marcus can be back, still paying him. Gives all of these guys gets jobs, man. All of them gets jobs. He did not. No, don't say that. They don't know, because if they didn't, nobody would say negative things from Knicks Nation about James Dolan. No, they don't know. No, they don't. The media does, but most Knicks Nation don't. Okay? Facts. Recognize. Dolan is doing us well. Okay? And he admits he messed up on the Carmelo Anthony deal. He messed up. He overstepped Donnie Walsh and D'Antoni. He overstepped Donnie Walsh and D'Antoni. He should have let Donnie Walsh handle it. Do y'all know right before they got Melo who they was getting ready to get? See, Mike D'Antoni is a point guard-driven coach, offensive genius mind. He's a point guard-driven coach. That's why he was successful with Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire, who couldn't play no defense, but he was successful because he's an offensive coach, 7 seconds or less. He needs a point guard. He was about to get Deron Williams. That would have set us off, because that's a point guard. Notice, man, I mean, no disrespect, but come on, man. I mean, Jeremy Lin wasn't he was barely an NBA player, and he looked like an all-star in Dan Antonio's defense, man. Offense, y'all catch that? Wade Felton was a good NBA point guard, but he looked all-star his first half season in New York under D'Antoni. All-star. Okay? He was fighting for the all-star at that time. That's because of the way that offense was humming. It needed a point guard. My man knew that, Donnie Walsh, and he was about to get him one. But then Dolan went out to LA. They was having the All-Star game in LA. He went out to LA and had dinner with Melo and promised Melo everything. And then that blew the whole game up. The Knicks ended up giving up most of their team that they was developing for Melo. Messed it all up. Okay, messed it up. Overstepped his bounds. And then he determined not to do that anymore. So he said he's going to leave the organization in the hands of somebody that he could trust. He thought that was Phil Jackson. That's what he went and paid him the $60 million to run the whole thing. So I'm going to give you the keys. I'm going to give you the golden ring. You run the whole thing. And Jackson was falling asleep at practices, falling asleep at scouting. Y'all know the story. So he had to step in and eat half that money. And then now he went and got Leon Rose. He stepped away. He let Leon run the whole thing. That's why I keep hearing these reports. Dolan's going to be upset. Dolan ain't going to be upset. He let Leon run the show. He came down to ask about Tibbs last year, and Leon said, we got it. Don't worry about it. And Worldwide West was crying to fire Tibbs, and Leon said, I'm the Don here. Be quiet. We got it. And they did. Thank you for the $5. Media appeals to reduces things to lowest common denominator for optimal profit. Very good, 2189. That's absolutely true. So now Dolan's backed off and left it in the hand, and rightly so, of Leon. Okay, left it in the hands of Leon. So what we got right now? We got a star in Julius Randle. He's legit all-star. You can't say it. He's been named to 2 all-star teams in 3 seasons. Is he a superstar? No. But in my view, he doesn't have to be. We right now, as the Knicks, are more in line with the 2004 Pistons than we are with a regular championship team. When I say regular, I mean the normal template for a championship team, which has at least 1 superstar, sometimes 2. See? So we're outside that template. Therefore, we are more like the 2004 Pistons, which have a lot of stars, not necessarily any superstar. Okay? That's where the Knicks are right now. So we got an all-star legit in Julius Randle. Right now, the way he's playing, to me, I'm not looking for any more from him. We can get to the chip with him playing like this. I didn't think he would get here. That's what somebody said, well, didn't you say you would never win chip with Julius? That was 2 years ago. Some of y'all keep holding the stuff like it's written in granite. That was 2 years ago. Julius has changed. Do y'all know that Julius is a different player than he was 2 years ago? Y'all do know that, right? I mean, he's a different player right now. He's playing at a level I never thought he'd get to. I mean, the assists, the shooting, offense, and even, have mercy, some defense. And then, of course, the rebounding, which he's always had, but he's getting game-winning. See, there's a difference between getting rebounding numbers and actually getting rebounding numbers that cause you to win. Like Dennis Rodman would get money rebounds. What I call money rebounds is the fourth quarter. You need a stop. You need a rebound. This cat was going to get it. The worm was going to get it. Marcus Camby was like that too when he was at their height with the Knicks. There'll be one shot. The Knicks were playing tight defense. It'd be one shot, and Camby would clean that defensive glass, and he would limit the teams to one shot. So the Knicks are now with Julius. He's that dude. Then you need a big rebound. How many games have we won this year because this cat got a key rebound in traffic at the end of the game? That's Juju. Okay. Now he's got his faults. There's no doubt. But if you expected Michael Jordan, you need to stop on those drugs. He's not going to be Michael Jordan. But the dude, we got a guy at our 4 right now that we can win a chip with. We got to just have stuff around. It's got to be what's around Julius. That's the important thing. What's around him? Okay, what's around him? We talk about Quentin Grimes. There were people, and this is the thing, Knicks Nation. I love the passion of Knicks Nation. I do. I love the passion of Knicks Nation. Some of you are so passionate, and I love it, but you get delusional. Josh Hart comes in, a perfect bench piece, and many of you are calling for him to replace Quentin Grimes because Quentin Grimes is having some shooting in terms of shooting issues. Not, again, looking long-term. Some people were saying he needs to get on the bench until he get his shooting right. Well, how is he going to get his shooting right on the bench? That doesn't even make sense. He got to play. He's got to shoot to get his shooting right. Then, of course, the whole world watched yesterday. Quentin Grimes scored 27, was lighting it up from three. Okay? Showed out. Now everybody knows, oh, QG, a couple weeks ago. Not even a couple weeks ago. Josh Hart came and be like, well, we need to start Josh Hart at the 2. I was like, what is wrong with some of y'all? You got a 22-year-old future all-star. That's what you got. Quentin Grimes is our dude. That's our dude. Start Quentin Grimes all the way through. Forget that. Okay? Been telling y'all that. From the time before the boy got drafted, been telling y'all that. Start him at the 2. Okay? Forget the rest of it. I was telling y'all that some of y'all was arguing with me. Fournier's going to start. Fournier, forget Quentin Grimes. I said, the starting 2 guys going to be Quentin Grimes. I told y'all. And watch. I'm being conservative. He's the second coming of Allen Houston. He's Allen Houston 2.0. Some of y'all say Klay Thompson. I ain't going to argue with you. I hope he does reach that level. But I know right now, he's the second coming of Allen Houston. He shoot the lights out, defense par excellence. High IQ. Moves without the basketball. Makes plays off the dribble. He got it all, man. He got it all. Okay? He got it all. You just need to let that little seedling become an oak tree. And the thing is, the difference between Quentin Grimes and RJ Barrett, okay? Let me just say this. And RJ brings up a lot of emotion from y'all. Let me say this, though. RJ is going to become an oak tree, but he's going to become an oak tree with a lot of pain. You're going to have a lot of pain watching him grow. Okay? He's going to cause you indigestion watching him grow. Quentin Grimes is going to grow like fine wine. That's what I'm saying. His growth is going to be more linear than RJ's. His growth is going to be more smoother. It's going to be something you could deal with. And you know why? Because even when he's not shooting the ball, you know he's playmaking. You know he's locked down defense, even when he's not shooting the ball well. Okay? And what we must understand in the present iteration of the Knicks, he's their 4th option. He's the 4th option. Okay? In the present iteration of the Knicks, he's the 4th option. The good thing about him is that if you notice, Julius is encouraging him to shoot. Julius yells at him when he doesn't shoot. Julius is encouraging Grimes to shoot. This is a very good thing, brethren. When your veteran player, your all-star, is encouraging your second-year starting two guard, shoot more, shoot more. This is good. Okay, this is good. Very, very good. Okay, very good. So that's going to help the Knicks because even this year, the pressure cooker of the playoffs, let me tell you something else that's going to tell you about raw Hebrew that you're going to understand later that you may not believe now. The playoffs are going to bring out the best in Quentin Grimes. You know, some people get froze up in the playoffs. It's their first playoff, blah, blah, blah. You remember Julius Randle 2 years ago, right? That ain't going to be Q, dog. That ain't going to be QG. QG going to be good. The pressure cooker of the playoffs is going to help QG. He's going to be that dude in the playoffs. Watch. He's going to be a combination of the Allen Houston jump shot, the little jump, the runner that he hit in Miami to eliminate Miami. Y'all remember that? Some of y'all remember that. It was like 5 seconds left. He came down. Allen Houston went through the crowd, threw up the little floater. It bounced around the rim, went in. Game over for Miami. One of the best times for being a Knicks fan, I remember, man, because we hated Miami at that time. But yeah, you was at the game. Okay, there you go. See, you was at that game again. Okay, that's big time moment. Quentin Grimes, baby. And you know how Alec Burks was that fourth quarter dude. You know how Alec Burks was that fourth quarter dude. Combine those two situations, and you will have Quentin Grimes in the playoffs. I'm really high on Grimes, very high on Quentin Grimes, and especially now. And he's only in his second year. When he gets to his third or his fourth season, forget, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Okay, it's a wrap. So high on Grimes. Obi. The problem that we thought would happen 2 years ago, because Obi was drafted to be the starting power forward, who knew that Randle was going to become all NBA? You got a starter that you're playing 9-10 minutes, a game. It's not, and some of y'all are looking to blame somebody. There's no blame. Listen, just because something doesn't go the way we want it, that doesn't mean there's a cause to blame somebody. Doesn't mean the Knicks messed up or they misused Obi or Tibbs is messing up. It is what it is. Tibbs plays his guys 35, 40 minutes. Julius is a workhorse dude, strong as a brick doo-doo house. So you got what you gonna do. What you gonna do? Cherokee and David 5. Julius looked like he was in sunken place from Get Out of 2 years ago. Yeah, that's what he did. But see, it's a different Judo now. It's a different Knicks team now. So that was year one of the rebuild. This is year 3. Okay. So now Obi is in a situation where he should be playing 25 to 30 minutes. He should be starting. And quite honestly, I would like to see some of y'all, like, for example, some of y'all was talking about Kyle Kuzma, right? I hear you. Kyle Kuzma's in the contract. Yeah, I don't trust him. I don't trust him to keep playing at this level going forward. I think he's one of them cats after he get his money. I don't know what's going to happen with him. So I don't trust Kyle Kuzma. But what we have seen this year from Kyle Kuzma is he's playing the 3. Okay, he's starting at the 3. Okay, when Daniel Gafford starts, it's KP at the 4, Gafford at the 5, and Kyle Kuzma at the 3. Okay, that's what you've been getting. Now, with that lineup, he's been very effective. Okay, I think Obi could play that same role. You understand what I'm saying? Brooklyn Buddha, Grimes shines every time he plays against the rest of his age group. Summer League, Combine, Rising Star, doesn't matter. It's true. And he's still 22. He's going to shine against old men in a minute too. Watch. Give him some time. We're going to be all right with Q Dog. We're going to be okay. I'm not worried about him. That's all. That's right. So, but Obi, this is the lineup, and I've been looking for this lineup. I've been looking for Mitchell Robinson or Hartenstein with Obi and Randle. I want to see that one. That means Randle at the 4, Obi at the 3, Mitch Rob at 5, Jalen Brunson, and I don't care if you have RJ or Grimes, whoever you have, IQ. I wanted to see that front line with the group of guards that we now have. I haven't seen that. I'd like to see that because that would not just give Obi more minutes. I think Obi would be effective there. I'd like to see that. That's the thing I haven't seen. I'd like to see that. I don't know if Tibbs is going to do that. He really has been sticking with Obi behind Randle, which is limiting Obi's minutes. He's really been sticking with Obi behind Randle, which is limiting. But I just want to see that, because if it's effective, boy, we could use that in the playoffs. Man, we could use that, right? So I'm looking to see that. But other than that, they're going to end up trading Obi Toppin, not because Obi wants to be traded, but because it's best for Obi and the Knicks to get the maximum they can from a guy that's really starter level, and he can go to another team and start, And there's several NBA teams he could start for. Several. He could start if KP leaves or if Kuzma leaves, he could start in Washington. He could start in Miami. He can start for a lot of teams. He could start in Dallas. He could start in Houston. He could start in San Antonio. Obi could start for a lot of teams, right now. He could. So for his career's sake, see, that's what I'm thinking of. Some of y'all don't get it. You don't hold a guy back if you can help him. The Knicks are really into helping their guys. They really are. So if Obi is going to be able to start and get 30 plus minutes a game, you're going to get 29 from him on a regular basis. Okay, you're going to get that from him. So if he's able to do it now, if he wants to stay in New York and come off the bench, okay, well, I can't argue with that. Hey, listen, keep him, right? Keep him. But this summer is going to be very interesting. This is going to be an interesting summer, and Obi's one of the interesting points. We're going to see what happens here with Obi, which brings me to my next point. Now, every team in the NBA that wins a championship has at least 3, if not 4, solid defenders in their starting 5. The better teams have 5. Okay. Thank you, Cherokee, for the $2. Kuzma and Ben Simmons going to start a clothing line. It's going to be the Rainbow. Is it called Rainbow Company Incorporated? Alphabet Soup. Is that their Alphabet Soup Incorporated? I did new clothing line. Oh, God. Okay. Let me get back on point here. So, Obi, there's a thing here. Now, look here. Championship teams, colorful regrets. That's cool. I like that. See, you throw me off, man. So, the thing we're missing right now is that 4th lockdown dude. Right now, RJ is not that guy. I'm hoping he becomes that guy. But just look at it this way. Look at Milwaukee. Milwaukee won a chip, right? Look at their starting 5. Right now, Lopez is among the leaders in Defensive Player of the Year nomination, right? Brook Lopez. Of course, you got Antetokounmpo, who's been Defensive Player of the Year as well, MVP. You got, Jrue Holiday, who's also a defensive guy. And then when he's healthy, Chris Middleton is also a defensive guy. So you have defensive players that get you stops. That's what you need, at least 4 of them. Sometimes Milwaukee has 5 on the floor. Then look at Boston. They have KW, the 3rd at the 5, defensive dude. Defensive Player of the Year in Marcus Smart. Jalen Brown plays defense, as well as they end up now, they got the guy from Boston. They got the guy from Indiana. They play defense, right? And then, of course, Tatum. Tatum is all world. He's all NBA. So that's your starters. You see what I'm saying? So they could get a stop when they need it. Same with Philly. Tobias Harris plays good defense. Joel Embiid plays good defense. They had Tybalt. They traded him. I don't know why, but he played good defense. Then you got, of course, Maxey. He plays good defense, really good defense. So you have all of those guys. Harden, Pillsbury, their boy, but they got 4. See? Lotta Music, thank you for the $10. Julius is a better player, but them bone done-headed decisions. Yeah. I mean, look, he going to cost you 4 turnovers a game. But you're going to live with that. This is Juju. He wins you games too. So the thing is, as you look at the whole thing, De La Music, let me ask you a question. Can you say Julius has won us more games than he has lost with his play, both good and negative? Can we say that Julius Randle has been a net positive in terms of winning for the Knicks as far as the net negative? Has he been a net positive? I think, honestly, we're going to be objective. I think Julius Randle's been a net positive for the Knicks. He has won us more games than he has lost us with his attitude. Last year, he lost a few games for us. acting the fool. But this year, he's definitely won us more games than he's lost. It's big time rebound, big time shots, really big time defense, at crunch time. I say he won us more games than he's lost us. Yeah, it's scary when he brings the basketball. No doubt. We all know him, but I'm more like, I'm trusting him more now. I'm more backing in his corner now. Gumby would be happy with me because I've seen a change in Julius, and I'm all in on the change. Okay, but as far as us, the Knicks, we need that piece, that fourth guy. Jalen Brunson's never going to be confused with anybody that's all NBA defense. He's just not. Okay, he tries his best most of the time, although he does lose his man a lot of times too. Just plain loses his man, but the IQ is high enough to not cost us as much. We need a fourth defender. RJ has been that weak link. Okay, RJ has been. Offensively, some people get caught up. I don't worry about his offense. He throws up air balls. Yeah, he does really stupid passes sometimes. There's no doubt. But to me, I chalk that up as 22-year-old. We need to grow mentally. We need to grow in the game of the league a little bit. And I'm not worried about that because I feel like he's going to do that. It's defensively I have a problem with RJ. See, his defense has taken a regression. He's regressed defensively. I expected a step forward. He's regressed. Hopefully, the second half of the season, Mitch Rob helps RJ. For some reason, RJ knows how to use the abilities of Mitchell Robinson to make himself look better on defense. So if that's good, wait, did you say Grimes is horrible on defense? Please, I know there's strong drugs out there. Be careful with them. Be careful with those drugs, Craig. I mean, they can really damage brain cells. I heard that drugs can permanently damage brain cells. Please don't use them. Quentin Grimes is a future all-defensive team player. To say he's horrible, please don't do that, Craig. Put the 40 down. Put the 40 down. If the wine is strong, I know I like wine myself, but, I try to stay away from it if it's going to mess up with my mind. You know what I'm saying? Please don't do that. Don't mess with it, Craig. Put the glass down. Put it down. What is it, gin? What you doing, man? Is it Grey Goose? What is it? What is it? Is it that Jamaican rum or that Puerto Rican rum? Put it down a little bit. I know it's Sunday, but, man, be easy a little bit, man. I mean, I could understand if you're saying he still could be better on defense, but to say he's horrible is Mark Berman-esque. It's Mark Berman-esque. Oh, Lord, don't say that. Oh, my gosh, man. That's almost funny, honestly. That's almost funny, man. Dag. Oh, man, he's only one of the best perimeter defenders in basketball. Okay, as long as Randle learns to allow a game to come to him, would be okay. I agree. Thanks for the $5, W's. I agree with you. And he's doing that this year. Okay. Man. Okay, so anyway, back to reality, y'all. So we need that guy at the 3 that's going to be defensive. You don't have to be all NBA defensive, but he got to be good to get stops when we need him. I'm not saying RJ will never be that guy. I'm just saying he's not that guy up to this point. Maybe he can become that guy the rest of this season. Okay? That's what I'm saying. Me and my Knicks is, you think they can fix RJ defensively? I think when Mitchell Robinson comes back, RJ immediately gets better defensively. You understand what I'm saying there? When Mitchell Robinson comes back, RJ immediately looks better defensively. Immediately. He plays very good with Mitch Rob on the floor. I don't know why, but he does. So that's going to help RJ immediately. Okay, immediately. So I don't know, as an individual defender, can he be better? I don't know. Yo, it seems, thanks for the $5 Cherokee, like 2022 and Julius 2022, RJ 22 traded places. That's true. Randy Murphy and Dan Aykroyd, it seems that way. But let's hope that they get back. Okay, but I would like RJ to improve. This is a huge stretch for RJ. Between right now and the end of the season, big stretch for him, very important for him, for his New York Knicks career, very important. This stretch right here is very important, and the playoffs are going to be very important for RJ Barrett. So he really wants Mitch Rob to come back, and he needs Mitch Rob to come back. And speaking of Rich Rob, so if you get the stops from RJ and you with Mitchell Robinson in there, you have now 4 people that are capable. Julius Randle is not always consistent, but this year he's been way more consistent of playing good defense, way more consistent. The problem with Julius Randle, and again, I'm in Julius Hive now, where I wasn't before, but I'm going to tell you honestly, his defensive IQ sometimes leaves something to be desired. I want to be honest, not trying to hate. I like Julius. I don't want to trade him now, but I'm saying to y'all, his defensive IQ sometimes is lacking. He gets easily confused with the offensive team's movements. He is obviously sometimes not remembering what they do. You see, Tibbs, for most of everybody else on the team, and again, I understand why Tibbs treats Julius differently. Some of y'all don't get it, but I get it. Why he doesn't hold him as what y'all call accountable as everybody else. I get that. I'll explain that in a second. But Tibbs expects that when one of his players takes the floor, he knows the guy he's getting ready to guard's tendencies. He knows the plays the other team does because they got scouts that scout out all of these teams. Everybody knows what everybody does. That he expects you to know what your guys' tendencies are, where his high percentages are, where his low percentages are, and what they are going to run. He expects you to know that. And for the most part, Grimes, Mitchell Robinson, even RJ Barrett, even Jalen Brunson, and of course Deuce, they know what you're going to run. Emmanuel Quickly, they know what you're going to run. They know what you're coming with. But Julius doesn't. And that's where it looks like his IQ is lower because he gets lost defensively. He's in his 8th year. Doesn't always do. He doesn't always. I'm not going to get crazy and say he's always like that because he's not. But he does do it at times, and it costs you. You know, you could see it happening. And then he'll blame somebody else for it. He'll point at Grimes or point at somebody else. He don't point at Brunson now, but he points at everybody else, and so that's a problem. But that aside, the Knicks can still win, and he plays good enough defense. Look, couple of games, man, when RJ was getting cooked, he would take over RJ's man and play lockdown defense. Did y'all notice that? He did that a couple of times. RJ would be getting cooked by somebody, and Julius would step in and say, all right, I'm going to take over this guy. And he'd guard. Whoever RJ couldn't guard, he was guarding. Okay? He did it with Tatum against the Celtics, won us the basketball game. He did it with Tatum. Okay? RJ couldn't guard that boy. Julius went on. I was like, dang. Grimes was guarding, but Grimes can only guard one guy at a time. He can't guard Brown and Tatum. Julius stepped up. Okay? Julius stepped up and was doing it. That's what I'm saying. He's done that a couple of times this year. So, you got to give Buckwheat his props on that. And he will do that when you need him in time. I think he's getting better that way. So he can't help if his IQ is a little slower, which brings me to Obi. Obi's IQ is also a little low, but you got to understand, if you know Obi's background, Obi's actually been a little, how do I say this nicely, a little slower than most people, in generally speaking terms. His maturity has come later than most people, okay? You understand what I'm saying? So Juju was slow coming out of high school. He was slow. He went to another school. They tried to get his grades up. He was a little slow there. He was a 21-year-old sophomore when you're supposed to be 19. He was 21 at Dayton. Okay, he only played there 2 years. He was older. What does that tell you? He picks up things, but it takes him a little longer to pick stuff up. And you got to have some patience with him. He's now much better than he was as a rookie, as far as IQ. Much better. 100% better. He's come a long way. And that's why I believe Obi's going to be all-star material. He's not going to be all-star material now at 24, going on 25 next month, but wait till he's like 27. He's going to really be good. We just need to he needs minutes. But Obi, you asked him to shoot jump shots. He came in the NBA. Y'all remember he couldn't shoot. Can he shoot now? Heck yeah. He can shoot now. Okay. We knew he could run the floor. And let me tell you something else. He's a better rebounder than most people think. He's a better rebound. He's not a 20 rebound guy. He's not going to get 20 like a Mitch Rob or like Juju, but he can get you 10. If he's playing 30 minutes, he can get you 10. But he's more like Amari Stoudemire. Amari Stoudemire wasn't a big rebound dude, but he would get you 8 a game, 8, 9 a game. That's Obi. Obi will do that. Give him the time. Some of y'all was playing even Berman. Obi just simply can't shoot. Tom is frustrated because Obi can't shoot. And I was telling y'all, he needs rhythm. He needs time. He needs minutes. And when he got those, he's still not getting them. Is he knocking down his Jada? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Okay. Amari was mostly athleticism offensively. He started knocking down his jumpers later on also. If his knees didn't give out, Amari would have been that dude. But then again, if his knees wasn't giving out, he would have never been a Knick. The only reason he signed with the Knicks because Phoenix wouldn't give him the money because of his knees. They knew his knees was bad. Knicks couldn't get his knees insured. They just paid him the $100 million. Okay, so that's Amari, but Obi's the same thing. It's just that he hasn't gotten the minutes. Amari came into the league at 19 starting. That ain't Obi. Okay. Della Music, thanks for tuning. Jalen won us those games. He did win us a lot of games. Speaking of Jalen, so now you get to this year where we went and got Jalen Brunson. I wasn't with it. I'm telling you exactly. I wasn't with it. I wasn't. Y'all know I wasn't with getting Jalen Brunson. Never was. Be quite honest with you. I would rather have seen them give the keys to Emmanuel Quickly. That's how I was feeling about it. I'm just telling you. They drafted Emmanuel Quickly. I would rather them see him get Emmanuel Quickly. But last season, as the year went on and they started making appearances at Dallas games and Ian Begley started reporting how they were looking at Jalen Brunson, I was like, wait, they're going to get Jalen Brunson? Honestly, I would have got, y'all know, I mean, my man Organic always makes fun of me, but I would have rather get Fred VanVleet. Okay? But I would have rather gotten Fred VanVleet. I ain't front. But they got Jalen Brunson. And then when I saw him in the playoffs last year, he won me. He won me in the playoffs last year because boy showed out in the playoffs. He showed out. Whoever they played, he was doing business against Phoenix, against Golden State. He was doing business, okay? He was doing business. So he won me. So, okay, I still, even though I was like, okay, they're going to sign Jalen Brunson, I still was like, $100 million, though? Dang, going $100 million? Don, $100 million? I was like, no. It's like a dude, like you see a dude taking a bad shot, you be like, no. And it goes and you say, okay. That's how I felt with them signing Jalen Brunson. I was like, wait a minute, no. Okay. And in the beginning of the season, he was playing hero ball, plain and simple. He was. But I felt like, and I said this, that I thought that his IQ was so high, he would eventually figure it out. This is the first time he's leading an NBA franchise with the keys, right? And so here we go. And this is what he's doing. So Jalen Brunson's, and this is the thing. Somebody said he thinks he's a superstar. I think he might become one, but that is going to be shown in the playoffs. Superstars carry the team in the playoffs. Now, I believe Brunson's going to become that, though. I mean, really. So, and he's not really, and the thing about superstars, in my opinion, generally speaking, with some exceptions, like Luka's an exception, but you want to see two-way guys. Like Kawhi Leonard, you might not think he's still a superstar, but at one point he was a superstar. Two-way guy, right? PG-13, two-way guy, right? LeBron, two-way guy. D-Wade, two-way guy. Bosh, two-way guy, right? Derek Nowitzki, two-way guy. You want guys that can play both sides of basketball on a high level. Kobe Bryant, much of a ball hog as he was, 5 rings, two-way guy, all NBA defense, all NBA. So you want two-way guys. Tim Duncan, two-way guy. You want to see guys that could do it on both sides. Okay, both sides of the basketball. Jalen Brunson is never going to be all NBA defense, but he's a leader. Got to give it to him. He's a leader. He's a natural-born leader. And his footwork is in that high class of DeMar DeRozan, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant footwork. His footwork is on that level. Really, really is. And, footwork on that level. And like I say, that's why I say we're more like the 2004 Detroit Pistons than we are a normal team that will win a championship because we don't have the superstar. But we got JB. It's crunch time. crunch time, fourth quarter, that's what you want, right? Superstar or not, right? You want the guy that at crunch time, he could win you the basketball game. That's Jalen Brunson. Then, of course, you got Juju. Well, as far as defense, I don't think he'll ever be. He just doesn't have the physical tools. You see what I'm saying, Handsome? Not against him personally. I say he don't have the physical tools to be. He don't have the quickness on his hips and the length of his arms. He works really hard, but he just doesn't have the tools to be that guy. Like, CP3 is a great defender, but his arms, he got really long arms for his height, CP3, okay? Plus high IQ and then quick feet and all that movement, ball, all that foot movement and everything. Quick, that's CP3, Hall of Famer. But he's never won a chip either. See, so but you know what, Dio, you got to live with that, Dio. You got to live with that. It's a 48-minute game. Juju is going to get his touches. You already know that. So we got to accept the fact that some of them are not going to be great shots. They're just not. So he throws up some bad ones, no doubt. But we live with that. As long as the Knicks are playing defense, I can live with that, which is what brings me to Mitchell Robinson. So when Mitchell Robinson comes back, look, the Knicks, I just looked at it today. They're like 14th in the league defensive rating right now. I expect that to go back into the top 10 with Mitchell Robinson. And when that happens, watch out. Watch out. Now, look here. They're not in the championship window right now. But the keys here for the Knicks to go farther than people would expect, even myself. Here's the keys for the Knicks. They need Julius Randle to just be what he is right now. Bad shots and all. If Julius Randle does his 2010 game, picks up his defense at big moments like he does and continues to be the ferocious grown man rebounder that he is, I'm expecting that. Mitchell Robinson needs to stay healthy throughout the playoffs, throughout the end of the season. That's all he needs to do. Just be Mitch Rob and we'll be good. RJ needs to pick up his defense. Not worried about him offensively, but defensively needs to pick up his defense for sure. JB needs to continue to be the leader of the team, continue to be the IQ guy, to have the ball in his hand, continue to be clutch. Q Dog, continue to play playmaker, defense, start hitting his open jump shot. Clutch, he's going to do that. Josh Hart and Mobb Deep continue to be 35 to 45 points a game. That is going to cause the Knicks. Thank you, 2180. If the Knicks win without stars, new level of hate. That's true. But if the Knicks can do these things, they're going to win their first round, and they may win the second round. They're going to put a fight up in the second round. They're going to be like the Boston Celtics was 2 years ago, like Memphis was 2 years ago. Win the first round and put up a serious fight in the second round, scare the pants off whoever they playing. And so 6 or 7 games in the second round, that's going to be the Knicks. And you know what? When you that close, you could actually get lucky and move forward, So that's going to be, and then with Tom Thibodeau putting him in that position, Tom Thibodeau is a playoff coach. He just hasn't had a superstar, okay? Playoff coach. If he had a healthy Derrick Rose, I think they'd have won the chip. They'd have beat Miami. That's how tight that team was. So I want to see what happens. This is going to be something else. He has no superstar. He has a bunch of dudes. Now, Deuce McBride. A lot of you are rightly concerned with Deuce McBride. Deuce is my dude. Deuce and Mitch Rob are my guys. The other guy below them are OB, and then there's IQ. I love all of them, but Deuce, Mitch Rob, and IQ, those are my dudes right there. So Deuce, I understand. Hart is ready. The same argument I was making with RJ and Jeremy Grant that some of y'all tripped about is the same argument I'm making with Deuce and Hart. Deuce is going to be better than Hart in 2 seasons. Hart is going to be 28 years old in about a week. Deuce is 22. Okay? So Hart is in his prime right now. Hart is ready to help the Knicks win now. Deuce can help the Knicks win now too, but he's not as polished as Hart is right now. 2 years from now, oh, hell yeah. But right now, it's Hart. Okay? I'm not worried about Deuce. Deuce is going to be, my concern with Deuce is the same with Obi. Y'all seen, Ian Begley said a number of teams were inquiring about Deuce McBride, and the Knicks refused to talk about it. You know why? 2 reasons. You might lose Emmanuel quickly. You might. Okay, even if you offered him what he should get, $72 million, I think you should give him 72 or 4. Just give him that $72 million, and let's hope he takes it. $72 million, $18 million a year. put that on the table for IQ and hope he takes it. If he doesn't take it, you're going to want Deuce McBride. I'm going to tell you something. Deuce McBride is all NBA level defense. All NBA level defense. IQ-wise, ability-wise, all NBA level defense. That's what he is. And some of y'all don't know. Homie could score. Y'all seen it against the Sixers when he started dropping them, but let him get 20 minutes per, 20, 25 minutes per game. Let him get IQ's minutes. I'm trying to tell y'all something. Okay? Trying to tell y'all something. Okay? It's going to be on. So right now, I'm not worried about Deuce. Josh Hart is the guy you need to play right there because you want to, if you want to go as far as you can in the playoffs this year, Josh Hart's your guy. Josh Hart's your guy, okay? Just like I said with RJ. It's not like RJ's not going to be good, really good eventually. I really believe that. He's going to be really good. I keep telling you. Y'all laughing at me telling you. Second coming of Jimmy Butler, but better. He's going to have a better jump shot. He's going to learn defense. Eventually, he'll be all right. But Jeremy Grant is ready now. Now, at age 29. He's ready now. He's not 22. RJ 22. Jeremy Grant's 29. He's ready now to help you win. Okay, now. Okay, you won't get any rookie mistakes. You won't get any dumb passes. You'll get lockdown defense every single night. Mikal Bridges, I told you. I wanted him in that draft. He's ready now. He's 26. He's in his prime. Okay, some of you said, Nets will never deal with us. I don't give a crap. No, what I want is I want Leon to make the call. All they can say is no. What's wrong with y'all? If the boy is there and he's right across the bridge, you got to make that phone call. Make the call. That's all I'm saying. Will he come to New York? I don't know. Maybe not. Does he want to come to the Garden? Yes, he does. I don't know if he's going to do it. I don't care. Call. Y'all not hearing me when I say that. You're not hearing me. I'm telling you. Make the phone call. And I think he will. Anything can happen once you make a phone call. I used to be in sales. My wife and I had a saying. Sometimes we could be struggling and we say one phone call could change anything. One phone call. One phone call to the right guy. Oh, I'm investing. Oh, okay. One phone call changed the whole couple 6 months. One phone call. Call. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying the Nets are going to trade him or won't trade him. I don't know. But make the phone call. Because if you get Mikal Bridges on your team right now with the starting five, you add him, we're going to the ECF. I'm telling you, we're in the ECF conversation right there. Okay? Same with Jeremy Grant. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying RJ Barrett won't eventually help us get there. I'm saying if you want to get there this year or next year, those are the two dudes you're talking about. Okay? Those are the two guys you're talking about. Okay, and I know some people keep bringing up Kyle Kuzma. He's going to be UFA this summer, but I don't trust Kyle Kuzma. I don't trust him. Look at his stats. Before this season, he really wasn't all that. This season, he started busting out. Why? It's a contract year, man. It's a contract year. Y'all know that, right? You know players start showing out in their contract year. Then they get that money, all of a sudden you don't see him no more. You understand? Okay? You don't see him no more. So I don't trust Kyle Kuzma. I don't trust him. Hardest positive influence, vet presence, and will elevate others. Lazarus, you're right. Thanks for the $5. So that's all I'm saying. They might not get Grant or, listen to me carefully, they may not get Grant or Bridges this summer. I'm fine with that. Let's keep rolling with RJ then. But I'm just telling y'all, you see how Josh Hart changed the whole complexion of everything as soon as he joined the Knicks bench? You want to see that happen in the starting five? Those two dudes are your guys. One of those two. You don't need to get both of them. Either Bridges or Grant. Obi might get traded anyway. If you're the Nets, why wouldn't you take Obi for Mikal Bridges? You just slot him right in. Slot him right in. And you're only paying him $6 million. Bridges is $20 million. You're trying to rebuild? You want Obi. He's from the area. Brooklyn loves him. His father's a legend in the playground. You want Obi. So I don't know, if they're going to do that, but I would make the phone call. If I'm the Don, I would make the phone call and see what we could get. If we could get Bridges. The Villanova connection is real. The Bridges-Villanova connection is real. So Michael Dre, here's the plan. Michael Dre says, we're plan C. I think I just laid it out. I just didn't lay it out clearly for you. But let me lay it out clearly. Plan A, Mikal Bridges. Plan B, Grant, Jeremy Grant. Plan C, RJ Barrett. Got it? Plan A, make the phone call. It could be only a second, right? He could just hang up the phone on you. Plan A, make the phone call. Okay, listen here, Mr. Sean Marks. Mr. Marks, we talking about McCall. Click! Okay, plan A. Plan A done, right? We call him McCall like Morpheus called Neo. That's right. Thanks for the $2.29. Uncle Raw, I normally don't say anything about comments, and I'm Knicks first before players, but some folks need to stay off dope. What, they drinking Thunderbird? So thinking, thanks for the $5 Thunderbird. They drinking Thunderbird, so thinking they done messed around and got on the Thunderbird. They're gone, man. They messed around with Thunderbird. They need to stop it. Wild Irish Rose. They messed around and got the pint of Wild Irish Rose and starting the trip. Is that what they doing? Or messing around with that OE? Is that what they doing? All right. St. Ides. That's right. They decided to go to St. Ides. Okay, they need to get off St. Ides Island, man. Leave that alone. All right, that's my new thing. Get off St. Ides Island, man. Get off St. Ides Island, please. Get off St. Ides Island. Okay. Okay, so plan A, make the phone call for Mikal Bridges and see what we can get, if we could do it, if we could not, whatever. Plan B, and if you would have done, you doing all this on the DL, you're not telling nobody, but you at the same time, you get Scott Perry on the phone with Jeremy Grant's people, and you talk and see what we can do with Jeremy Grant. Hey, what you want? What you looking for? You know where we at? We was in the playoff. We were 6th, 5th in the East last year. We looking to move up. We need a dude at the 3 that can bring us to that next level. Let's see what you got. That's plan B. Plan C, RJ, let's just keep developing kid. Let's come in at age 23. Let's take that step forward on the defensive end. Let's start faster this year. RJ, let's do it. That's your plan. A, B, and C. Because right now, short of getting a superstar, that's going to bring the Knicks to the next level. Okay? All of those are going to do it. Okay? Remember now, y'all know, about the time Steve Mills was the president of basketball operations, even before that, the Knicks was basically changing their roster every season. And we was all hoping with the keep roster changing every season, we was hoping we got something. They kept bringing in all these different dudes every season, changing the starting five. I think Fizz Goggles must have had like 12 different starting fives. Isn't that right? Fizz Goggles, before they let that Google head go, he was messing around with like 12 different starting fives. Couldn't stick with one to save his life. But now the Knicks have had Randle for 4 seasons, Mitch Robb for 4 seasons, RJ Barrett for 3 seasons. Correct? We have all these guys playing together, right? We just got Quentin Grimes. We still got Obi Toppin. We still got Emmanuel Quickly. We're keeping our core continuity. That's part of a formula for long-term sustainable winning. Now, you may have to give up something. We're talking about Obi. We're talking about RJ. You may have to give up something if you want to get now to that next level. But pretty much the Knicks have kept their core. They've kept their core together, and that's continuity. Yeah, they drafted Ntilikina 8th. They traded for Moutier, and he's looking at Moutier in his initial press conference. We're going to get you right, kid. Is Moutier still in the league? Oh, my gosh, man. So, yeah, there's that. So, Tibbs has done a tremendous job, as you know, in my view. I like Tibbs. I love Tibbs. I like what he's doing. I know he's going to play through his contract. That means we got 2 more seasons of Tibbs after this. If we keep the same core continuity we have now, we're going to move better. We're going to get better. We're going to keep getting better. Okay? Okay, we're going to keep getting better. Okay? Okay, that's why it hurts the haters the most. Yeah, I know. Kenny Payne, you're right. But, they're going to have more reason because you're going to have Juju. Brunson, and watch Quentin Grimes now. Watch Quentin Grimes. Don't let Grimes show out like I just told you he's going to do in the playoffs. Don't let Grimes start nailing those 3-pointers in the playoffs. Don't let him do that. Then he putting people on the lockdown. Don't let him do that. And he's that dude. I'm telling y'all. He's that dude. He's that dude. Michael Drake asked a very cool question. He said, would you still get KP? If I can get Kristaps Porzingis as an unrestricted free agent without giving anything up, yes, because I'd start him and I'd put Mitchell Robinson in the second unit. If I could do that, if I can get him without giving up anything, that's the key here. If I had to give away 4 guys and picks, no. But if I'm going to get him as an unrestricted free agent for nothing but money, yes. Yes. If I was going to just get him for money now, so I ain't got to give up nothing. I got to remove some contracts to get him. I'm moving Hartenstein at that point. I'm getting rid of Fournier. I may even have to give up picks to get Fournier off my books, but I'm getting rid of these guys and I'm creating that space for KP. Yes, I would get it. Because now you're going to start Juju, KP, RJ. And then you're going to have Grimes, Brunson, you're going to have a Mitch Rob, you're going to have a Josh Hart, you're going to have a IQ and Obi. What? What? No, man. We'll be talking finals now. No, talking finals now. Dio, I've had my differences with our problem child, and y'all know I call Julius Randle our problem child. I do. But let's not act like our wants are what the Knicks are going to do. I like to be real. What are the Knicks going to do? Are they going to trade Julius Randle? Hell no. So let's be real. Let's work with Julius, support your boy, support your team, and let's move on with life, Dio. Let's not issue hate. You know what I'm saying? Let's not issue hate. He's going to be on the team. So he's one of our guys. He's wearing orange and blue. Are you guys Knicks fans? So anybody that's going to wear orange and blue, you should love those guys. You understand? The Knicks are not getting rid of him. That's what I'm saying, Dio. You're not even talking good business. Good business is real. The Knicks are not moving him. And I dare say, Leon Rose, Scott Perry, I'm just going to put a guess. I'm assuming they know a little bit more about pro basketball than you might and that I might. I'm going to guess. Okay, I'm going to just guess and say that Leon Rose and Scott Perry and Walt Perrin, they may know a little bit more about the NBA than you and me. And I'm going to tell you right now, they're not trading Julius Randle. So since we are Knicks fans, the business is Julius is a fixture at the 4 for the next 2 seasons at least. He's a fixture at the 4. You're not losing him. He may retire a Knick. So let's just be happy. Let's enjoy the ride with our problem child. Just admit he's a problem child. He's that kid that you have. I got 4 children. They're not all the same. Some of my kids are smarter than others. And I know some of them are going to make certain mistakes. I know that. But see, this is my children. And so you have to understand these are your kids. So Julius is one of our problem children. It's what it is. He's not going nowhere. Let's get over that. Just the same with y'all that be whining about fire Tibbs. Get off St. Ides Island. They're not firing him. They love Tibbs. Tibbs and Leon tight. They don't care what World Wide West thinks. World Wide West is happy to be an MSG and saying anything. So let him just keep chilling. Tibbs is staying. They got 2 more seasons. If Tibbs brings the Knicks to the playoffs again this year, which he's going to, and they play better this year than they did 2 years ago, which they're going to, Tibbs is here. Get over that. It's not going to be Mark Jackson. It's not going to be Kenny Atkinson, who I did want first. It's going to be Tom Thibodeau. Stubborn, yep. Hard-nosed, hell yeah. Has his ways, definitely. But 2 playoff appearances in 3 seasons on a rebuilding team, give me that. After winning 17 games with what's that dude's name? Derek Fisher and daggone Kurt Rambis and Fizz Goggles. You got a dude bringing you to the playoffs in the top 6 of the East 2 times out of 3 years. What the hell is wrong with y'all? Stop whining. Cherokee Indian, it is me, or does Walt Perrin look like one of those great uncles you see once? Yes, he does. Thanks for the $5. Yes, he does. So let's just forget the Fire Tibbs. He's good. You may not like it. I may not like everything he does, but I like to work with the real. So we know Thibodeau's here to stay, so let's support him. And Julius Randle's here to stay. I wanted to trade him. I wanted to trade him when they got Obi Toppin. I wanted to trade him the next season too. I wanted to trade him while they had value after this All-NBA season. I wanted to trade him at the beginning of last summer. But now I recognize the fact that he's here. He's not going anywhere. He's upped his game, playing good ball. Maybe having the second child helped him because he got more mature. Jay Sniper, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say something. Jay Sniper has to go. Who do you want to face in the playoffs? Let me say something to y'all right now. It's not who the Knicks want to face in the playoffs. It's who's trying to avoid the Knicks in the playoffs because they're going to lose in the first round. Did you hear what I said? It's not about who we prefer to face. They don't want anybody. I don't care who it is. It could be Boston, Milwaukee, Philly, Cleveland. They don't want. The question is who's trying to avoid New York. That's the question. Because you're gonna lose in the first round, baby. That's what I'm saying. Remember, I told you at the beginning of the season with some of these people. There's a certain girl. I forgot her name. Very pretty, almost like Monica. Not Monica, but like Monica. Pretty. Don't know crap about basketball. And I heard her on a certain channel talking about the Knicks. Well, we know they're not going to make the playoffs. I was like, Dad, will you stop reading other people's bylines and just regurgitating them? I know she looked pretty and all that, but she don't know nothing about basketball. See, my girl Monica, y'all know what I'm talking about. Monica know ball. Monica knows her ball, okay? But this other chick, she don't know nothing about basketball. She's just there because she's the pretty face. And I hear you. You put a little, it's like with YouTube, right? More YouTube views, you get somebody on there that's hot looking with a little string bikini. Yo, dude's gonna watch, right? Dude's gonna watch. And that's why they put a girl like that on your thing. She's very pretty and she can speak intelligently. But if you actually listen to her, she has no freaking idea about basketball. Zero. Whereas Monica, she knows her game. She knows her game. She knows the game. Not only is she pleasant to watch, especially when she's wearing jeans, but she knows the game. Okay, she knows it. Okay, and so does there's somebody that's not as pretty and knows the game. I could listen to her. What's her name? Doris Burke. I could listen to Doris Burke watching a whole 48 minutes. She knows basketball. She's a female version of UB Brown. That's Doris Burke to me. I like listening to Doris Burke. Okay, Monica though, she does good for the camera. And she knows the game. But my point, though, is saying this other chick, she regurgitates. She must read somebody's byline and regurgitates it. She has no idea what she's talking about. And so I remember distinctly she's saying, oh, the Knicks, they won't even make the play-in. Or they'll be lucky to make the play-in. They might be able to make the play-in. I was like, what? What's wrong with you? See, she was sounding like the rest of them haters. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I like Doris Burke, though. I can listen to Doris Burke all day. That girl, you don't want to see her no, you don't want to actually see her face. But listening to her, girl knows her stuff, man. Girl knows her basketball. There's no doubt. You know who else knows ball? The girl that's be over there with the Nets. With Iron Eagle. That girl knows her ball too, man. That other chick, she knows, I don't even know her name, but she knows her ball too. That white chick, she knows her ball, man. I listen to her on the Nets channel. She know what she's doing. She know her game. She know her game, man. Sarah something. Yeah. Sarah know ball. I like listening to Sarah. She know her ball. But this other chick, she's a model trying to pass as a sportscaster. She's we call them models, Instagram. She's an Instagram type model trying to pass as a basketball analyst. And like I said, I understand. I understand, but yeah, Doris knows the game, man. So did Monica. Monica knows the game. Yeah. And that girl, what's her name again? Sarah knows the game. Okay. I like listening to people that know the game. I don't like listening to people that just regurgitate crap because they got personal feelings or whatever, or they don't know the game and they just regurgitating what else they heard. Like, well, y'all know Reggie Miller. Richard Jefferson, right? Right? Reggie Miller, Richard Jefferson, you know. people that don't know what they're talking about most of the time. So just because they hate the Knicks. I don't see this chick hates the Knicks. I think she just doesn't know basketball. You know, she's just got a job. She's doing her job, but she don't know game. Okay. Right. So what I'm saying, though, to say all that is they were predicting the Knicks to not make the play-in or to barely make the play-in. A lot of people were giving the Knicks the 10th spot. And y'all remember in the beginning of the season, what did I tell y'all? I said, I don't care who they got in the top 6, somebody's losing their spot. Didn't I say that to y'all? Y'all bear witness? I said, I don't care who they got in the top 6, somebody losing their spot. Okay, somebody losing their spot, man. And I said, somebody losing their spot, and I don't care who it is. And I told y'all, see? So it's going to be Miami, Cleveland. I don't care if somebody losing their spot. Okay? Yeah, she's another one. Malika Andrews another one. Pretty girl, run her. Anyway, don't know the game. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Don't know the game. Okay? I don't like listening to amateurs if you're supposed to be watching the pros. Don't know the game. They paying you, and you don't know the game. Okay? They paying you, and people that want to hear about the game don't know the game. Okay? The chick, Doris Burke knows the game. Monica knows the game. Comstock, whatever her name is, Sarah knows the game. Okay? Malika Andrews is aggravating. She's aggravating. I don't even like to hear her voice. She's on the same level as Richard Jefferson. When I hear them, I turn down and put the mute on and start listening to Mobb Deep or something because I don't want to even hear what they got to say. You understand? I don't even want to hear what they got to say. Put the mute button on, I start listening to Mobb Deep. Mobb Deep, Biggie, all my boys from the 90s, Lost Boys, all of them. Start listening to that. So I don't want to hear it. But here's the Knicks now in the 6th seed and trying to fight for the 5th seed, right? Now all these haters ain't giving their, you wouldn't even think some of them was saying what they were saying earlier. Somebody would say, I didn't pick the Knicks to be this high, but they've done a great job. I haven't heard anybody say that, have y'all? I haven't heard nobody say that. All of them are acting like they were already on board, these losers. Losers. Okay? No. Don't try to jump on the bandwagon now. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? I say I turn off the mute whenever like a Malika Andrews or this other chick comes on. I don't want to mention other chick's name because I don't want people to think I'm criticizing other NBA content creators because they, but I just be listen to the Lost Boys or listen to my man, listen to Mobb Deep or listen to Big L, listen to my guys, Gangstar, right? Listen to them. I put the mute on, start listening to these other kids. I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. And I don't have to listen to that mess. See, that's the thing. That's the thing about modern technology. You don't hear somebody click it off and start listening to something else you want to hear. You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's all. That's why I tell people come on my channel, man, I don't like when you do this and you should stop doing that. And I say, we can fix that. We can fix your problem. This is modern technology. I can turn your ass off. We can fix the problem. Okay? Go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? I don't need your ass. You ain't putting food on my table. Get the hell out of here. Shit. See what I'm saying? What you think? I need you here? I got other news for you. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, you about to take this L. That's right. Shook ones. Put them in their place. I like listening to that when I'm watching the Knicks play. And the whole thing started with me with Mobb Deep. Because when I saw Obi and IQ play together, that came to my mind. Mobb Deep came to my mind. And that's when I started saying, they Mobb Deep. And when they would come, I was like, that's Mobb Deep right there. And then, putting this one out for a man killer B. No doubt indeed. Without weed. That old real, There's a war going on outside. Something like Vietnam. Yeah. Only the strong survive. That's Mobb Deep right there. Okay, that's the Knicks second unit right there. That's Mobb Deep right there. That's what I'm saying. So I can turn that on when I hear some of these knuckleheads come on. Okay, but the Knicks are getting better as the season goes on, as we thought. They're fighting for the 5th seed, as we thought, as many didn't. Some of us was on it, right? Some of y'all in Knicks Nation was with me. I was like top 6. top 6. And some of y'all was with me, and then some of y'all started wavering when they went to their little 4-game losing streak. Some of y'all started tripping a little bit. You know who you are. I don't know about this. I don't know. They might be in the play-in. I don't know if they don't get rid of Sohn. They don't get rid of Randle. They may not even make the play-in. Some of y'all start tripping. I told y'all, 45 wins at least, top 6. Especially, I told y'all, if Grimes started instead of Fournier. Some of y'all was insisting, oh, we need Fournier shooting. I told you the boy was too soft on defense. His best, highest use was off the bench. And we need Grimes starting. Some of y'all wasn't with it. Told y'all. Here we are. Okay, I told y'all. Minimum 45, I said. I said minimum 45. So they could win set 47. They could win 48. They could win 50 games. I don't know. But minimum 45 wins. Minimum 45, I said. Okay. And that's still the case. Right now, they got what? 33 and 27, right? What is it? 32. What's the Knicks? 33 and 27, right? The Knicks 33 and 27 right now. Isn't that right? Yep, 33 and 27. And we got 24 games left. So they just needed what, 12? I think we could say that's a lock. I think we could say that's a lock, right? 30, 45 is a lock. They got to go 500. And, you know, a lot of people are saying this is the hard part of their schedule. I was looking at the schedule. You know, you would think it was hard, but those of us that know, the Knicks play really good on the road. Really good on the road. They're going to have Mitchell Robinson. And you know who really got a tough schedule coming up, man? They're going Brooklyn. They're going to go through it. Philly got a little bit tough schedule. Miami got the easiest run, but the Knicks got to play Miami 3 times coming down the stretch here. I think 2 or 3 times. So I'm liking our chances there. Okay, I'm liking our chances, right? The Nets, Miami, the Nets, and Cleveland. Those are what we need to look at. Miami, the Nets, and Cleveland. That's the teams we got to fight with. That's the teams we got to fight with. Nah, Randle ain't stunting our growth, man. You letting Randle occupy too much rental space in your head, brother Dio. He ain't. No. If he keep bringing 2010s, we're gonna be all right. Okay, we're gonna be all right. Really, gonna be all right. He's gonna be all right. Don't worry about it. He ain't occupying that much, or no. If Brunson is the guy, okay, Brunson is the guy. If Brunson has the ball in his hands most of the time, which he will, Randle is not going to play that much of a role in stunting anybody's growth. He's just not. Okay, he's not. Brunson has the ability to do that, but he's not going to do it. His IQ is too high, so he's not going to do it. Did you see Brunson jump up and down like a daggone little leprechaun on pogo stick when Jericho Sims didn't move the way he wanted him? Did you see that? He started jumping up and down and yelling at Jericho Sims. So that, to me, is showing me he already was a leader. He already was a leader, so that's not new. But what it's showing me is he's now getting comfortable leading the Knicks. He's getting comfortable leading the Knicks, okay? You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think we're in good shape, y'all. I like it. 2189, you trying to get me in trouble, man. My beautiful wife in there don't want to hear nothing about that. Boricua ain't playing. Y'all got to know, Boricua don't play that. She don't mind if I'm on here messing with y'all about Monica McNutt. But don't let none of them actually get in touch with me. Boricua don't play that. Boricua don't play, man. Not at all. My grandma used to say, not at all. Boricua don't play that, man. No. See, I could talk about Monica. I could talk about, whoever else out there that doing their thing, whoever else out there, whatever. I could talk about Miss McNutt. What a name, McNutt, like, nut. I mean, Anyway. Like make me, Anyway, time for me to go and eat dinner with my Boricua. We're going to have some Mexican food today. We're going to have some Mexican food today. I'm going to have me some steak with some habichuelas, and some plátano today. Yeah, we're going to be exactly. Ooh, Lord. But I was just thinking I could bring my wife anywhere, You know what I'm saying? Like if we went to Thailand, I wouldn't have to be worried about the Thai babes. I wouldn't. If we went to the Philippines, I wouldn't have to worry about that. Boy, he was in town, baby. Shoot. No, let me worry about that at all. No. So we think about all them places. We getting ready to go to Mexico this year, later this year. I ain't worried about that. Northern tribes, they cool. But I'm good with Boricua. She good. You know what I'm saying? Boricua come through town. I don't know, Delmar. My wife and I were just talking about that. I don't know when we'll be able to get back to New York. It was easier when I was in DC because it's only 2 hours, 3 hours, something like that, 4 hours, whatever. But we could take a bus, a train, a flight, a car, but we couldn't get there. Now we in Florida now. Matter of fact, I want to tell y'all, we getting together again in March. I'm trying to hook up my man Organic. Organic lives near a nice spot for us to hang out, man. What's that name of that place, Organic? It's a nice spot where you got a little baby golf and pool and all that. I forgot. Organic knows, but I want to hook up. Me and Organic getting ready to hook up, and then any of y'all in the Florida area, we're gonna be hooking up and going to this spot. I forgot the name of the spot, but what's the name of this spot? Top Golf. Y'all heard of Top Golf? Top Golf. So I don't know when we're gonna be getting back to New York. The only time we've been to New York recently, unfortunately, is when one of my relatives dies. Then we go back to New York, but we haven't really been there. Oh, San Diego would be nice. Yeah, I've been there a couple of times, but only for a day or so. We've come to San Diego a couple of times. Yeah. Oh, you in Vero Beach? Okay. Well, we'll talk because we're going to be somewhere in the Orlando area. We got tickets to the game on March 23rd. I'm trying to hold off for some of y'all. Because I can sell these tickets today online. But I'm trying to hold off for somebody that wants to go to the game and get a discount at a close, nice seat. So $250, first $250 from Knicks Nation gets the ticket. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be here against the Magic on 23rd of March. Y'all want it? Come get it. Otherwise, some stranger's going to be sitting next to me because I want to sell the ticket to the highest bidder and get what I can for it, But for now, that's what we're doing. Anyway, let me go get ready. My wife's waiting for me. Let me do this, man. Hey, thank y'all so much for coming out, talking Knicks. Always fun with y'all Knicks Nation. Enjoy your All-Star game. Enjoy your summer. It's 80 degrees here. I don't know what it is with y'all, but it's 80 degrees here. So for my respect, thanks for the support. Y'all, so for real. Thank you. Enjoy. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to be talking about some Knicks players and some possible draft picks. Shalom.